Lots of people ask me, how do you draw water? I mean, it's see-through, so how do you see it to draw it? Well, actually, there's lots of different ways of drawing water, but it depends what the water is doing. I'll show you what I mean with this cartoon strip. So, OK, here's Harry. He's really miserable because of the rainy weather. Now, when you're drawing rain, it's just a case of drawing these lightly drawn diagonal lines all going in the same direction. And to make it look really rainy, you could just draw these drips, little teardrop-shaped drips, dripping off everything, even off the end of his nose and off his chin there. And to make it look really horrible, what about a few puddles on the floor? And you could even do some of these tiny teardrop-shaped splashes jumping up like that, where the rainwater is plopping in to the puddles. So Harry was so fed up, he decided to treat himself to a holiday in the sun. Off he went to a beautiful Caribbean island where the water was still and calm. Now, if you want to draw still, calm water, don't do waves, just draw lightly drawn squiggle reflections of things in the water, like this boat there, squiggle reflection, and even this tree by the water's edge, little squiggle reflection there. And look at that, the water's really calm. Some days there was a warm sea breeze, and the water started to get a bit choppy and wavy. So if you are going to draw waves in water, here's a good tip. Draw the waves quite big in the foreground, like this, and then draw them getting smaller the further away they get. See the way I'm just drawing these slightly smaller now as they get into the distance, and just make them closer together. See the way I'm just closing the gap between them, so that eventually, when they get right into the distance, you can hardly see that they're waves at all. They just look like dots. And you get this great feeling of distance into your picture. Some days, Harry would go snorkeling underwater. Now, here's a good trick to make things look as if they're underwater. Just draw little bubbles rising up towards the surface from whatever it is that's underwater. And look at that. It really does look as if they're underwater. Very simple trick, that. Well, most days Harry would spend by the pool, just diving in to cool himself off. And if you want to draw things plopping into water, just draw these teardrop-shaped splashes jumping up, and then a couple of curved ripples rippling out from where he entered the water. Of course, if you want to draw heavier things going into the water, then just draw the splashes fanning out, a bit like fingers. See that? Do a couple of them there, because she's quite heavy, and lots more ripples. There, like that. And don't forget, ripple around him there as well. Now, some days, Harry would have the pool all to himself and he'd just relax in the still, calm water. And you can even draw ripples around things to make them look as if they're standing in that still, calm water. Even this ladder, watch this, a couple of ripples, and it looks like they're actually in the water, not resting on it. And if it's still and calm, don't forget the squiggle reflection. Well, it was soon time for Harry to go home from his holiday, and all his holiday friends were really upset to see him go. So if you want to do someone crying or shedding a tear, just draw this teardrop shape coming from the corner of their eye. Harry, well, he was so upset, he bawled his eyes out. And if you want to draw someone really howling, just draw these little teardrops spraying out like that, and a couple of puddles on the floor like that. And even draw some lightly drawn lines in there to show that they're water. Try it yourself. Put some water into your drawings and cartoons.
I never knew drawing water could be so easy. Hey, I've been practicing all those tips. Little tear shapes, wiggly lines, bubbles and ripples. Well, that's me, in a calm puddle, crying my eyes out in the rain, underwater. Effective, isn't it?